Common Sense Podcast, myself, Jimmy, Savali,
Lord Savali.
What else? Remy.
King Rems. Well, he gets to be called Lord, so.
Clint, please don't say anything else.
I'm legally a Lord.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about what we were talking about in the group chat, where we were speaking about people, the younger generation especially, blaming people for their upbringing, blaming people, but you know what?
Blaming their actions on the upbringing. So what we're talking about is people that use their upbringing as an excuse to do fuckery. So I didn't have any better, so I don't know any better, therefore I'm not going to do any better. So kind of looking at the people that don't have the courage to break the cycle, not realising that we have all of the infrastructure in place over here to do so. So that's what we're talking about.
Thank you very much. I personally think it's bullshit.
Okay.
Because I think personally, with me, the area I'm from, it was previously deprived, and now we got £1 million and £2 million houses there, but that's neither here nor there.
Damn.
Exactly. But I feel like me being from where I'm from doesn't really equate to me being a piece of shit. I feel like I'm a piece of shit because I'm a piece of shit.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? No, but I feel like if I'm born and raised as someone who just doesn't care about anything, then that's just how I'm gonna be, and that's that.
But
you're saying that with, you can't say that because you're looking, you're observe. As soon as you observe yourself, at this point, you can't blame yourself from that point forwards.
Exactly.
You can only say, okay, I'm going to try and make a change.
You take responsibility
and also,
for
when
that.
you say fuckery, that's also going to be a matter of situation and opinion.
I feel like fair enough.
I feel like, sorry, so just try and cutting you on for a second. Sorry, I feel like if we are all as standard, victims of our own
circumstances and environments
and situation. Maybe victims.
We're products of our own environment.
Okay.
There you go.
Much better.
I feel like you can't really. Go on, I'll let you finish.
As us, thanks, brother. As us being that, accepting that, what might be fuckery to you within your community, once you get out there, might be the
acceptable,
or vice versa.
Yeah.
So there's this kind of like not shallow, but there's this general kind of string I feel that runs through all of our communities. And I can only say London, where we know this is wrong, that's right. Anything as soon as it starts to go a little bit outside of that, then it's going to be, well, I'm from here, this is the way I deal with things.
Yeah, it's perceptive, but I think the alternate angle to that is looking at it in case of, if you look at it internally, the things that you grew up with that weren't acceptable or hurt or stopped you from developing, why then recreate those things? So it may not be fuckery on the wider scale, but it was fuckery in the sense of your health, your well-being and your development. So if you went through some things in your childhood that wasn't, I don't know, domestic violence, for example, like 1.3 million women over the course of the fiscal year from 17, 18 were victims of domestic violence. So if you grew up in that environment, you knew how that made you feel. So then why would you replicate those behaviours and use your upbringing as an excuse?
Okay.
Because you don't know any better.
I don't feel like it's always intentional. For example, and I'm not justifying anyone that's been in these situations or this experience something and then repeat that. I'm only saying that once something becomes natural to you, because you've been influenced by your parents or your circumstances as a child, then it's almost like a second nature.
I'm going to call you on that.
Sometimes you need someone to give you a little tug and say, you know what, you've done the wrong thing there, or you've acted the wrong way. It's just not always obvious.
Natural is again perception, because remember we had the debate on the last episode about what natural is.
So all right, so where I personally say, like, when you're being a product of your own environment, as you were saying, when you are a product of your environment, that means the vast majority of people around you are just like you, and that is why you're basically bred to be the same as whether you're from North East, South West London or outside. You're just like everyone else. I personally believe that whatever is inside your household, that is what it is.
Yeah, that is your environment.
Yeah, because you can be
nonsense.
How so?
It's not, because you can live in the nicest areas, the most affluent part of Chelsea or Kensington or whatever, and you can still be a prick.
Exactly.
You just contradicted what you said.
With what?
You said that.
But no, because you can still be a prick because of inside your house.
Yeah. So then,
I'm sorry, but you being from Hackney,
yeah,
you're probably more likely to be drill artist or roadman than someone from a posh place in Chelsea or
yeah, but we're not talking about drill artists. We're talking
I'm
about
talking
the prevalence of behaviours that result in them being a drill artist.
But I'm talking about a kid being raised in a place like Chelsea probably won't have that same issue.
Experience.
Exactly. So you can't. So
You
I
can't
think
talk about
I
that.
think I think where you live plays a big part. I mean, man, them grow up now and then they move out the ends. Why? Why are they moving out? Why move out the
Yeah,
ends?
most people
Yeah,
wanna
it
move out
does.
because
No,
they
but
wanna
I'm
get
not-
rid for the area. You're
Not
right.
necessary. They want to move out because they know that there's no progression there.
Yeah, but let
It's
me
still going to
explain
keep
something. Looking
happening.
at it from the wider scale, if we're looking at childhood experiences, they run through where, regardless of where you're from. Domestic violence, regardless of where you're from. Mental health, regardless of where you're from. So looking at it just in terms of area, it happens across the board. Yes, the prevalence in high deprived areas is higher, and also the opportunity for people to experience mental health issues later on in life is higher, but it doesn't mean that just because you grow up in Kensington and Chelsea, you won't see, experience, or grow up in a domestically
But it's
violent or emotionally abusive environment,
would I
which then
want
results in
would I
negative
want my
behaviours.
child to grow up in Hackney or one of these ends, Peckham or wherever? Probably not, because I feel like even I can be a great dad, but they spend more time with your friends, spend more time outside. I can't trust that. I've lived in a lot of places. I've lived in a rich environment, a poor environment. I've seen how things work, and the way things are being dealt with in London or in wherever, Peckham or wherever, it's different from how things are being dealt with in a place like Harpenden or a place like Chelsea. It's different.
It's different
Of
in a
course.
sense of you're looking at it from, I feel you're looking at it from an economical sense, but in sense of emotional well-being, mental well-being, it's the same factor. If you're looking at the adverse childhood experiences scale, they are judged exactly the same, whether you're from Harpenden, whether if you're from Chelsea and Kensington, whether you're from like Narn, whether you're from Edmonton, you're judged on the same things.
I
Can
don't
I ask a
think so.
question then,
Yeah.
quickly? Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, ask a question. So, just to try and cut to it,
Yeah.
how do you think, or do you think it's justified for the children from those separate areas to
what
say,
to-
okay, well, my lifestyle was, or I've been brought up like, or I am from,
Yeah.
so I'm justifying this action.
Yeah, I'll give you a good example. Let's talk about credit, for example. A lot of people from, Hackney and less able places or whatever don't really know about credit, and they end up.
Would you say it's people from areas or just people of certain
no,
creeds and colours?
No. Well,
I personally
yeah,
believe
but
it's
these people from these race or whatever, let's call them black people, Asian people, whatever. They don't.
People of
No,
colour.
Asian
Yeah.
people have
Okay,
good credit,
cool.
like traditionally.
fantastic.
Well,
a
Always
lot-
buying
a lot of
BMWs
we can learn.
and that.
A lot of people from these places were speaking about like the Hackney and the Peckham. They don't know about credit. Where if I go to a place like Chelsea, from the age of 16, 15, these kids have savings. They know why and how to fix their credit and build a credit. So I feel like and now when that kid from Harpenden and that kid from Peckham who doesn't know about credit gets to the same place, that kid from Harpenden is going to be advanced. So that's my point.
Economically, yes.
Yeah,
The
of
reason
course. So
why
it all
right.
plays a part. My point is, yes, because that kid from Peckham will be affected. Can't climb up on a lot of things. Can't get a car. Can't do certain things. Can't probably get a mortgage.
But-
So that's my point.
Okay, but I don't think it's because of his area. I think it's because of what he's been taught inside.
Exactly.
Internally.
Not
That's what
really.
I'm
It's
saying.
a house thing. It's
Because,
your,
because one school definitely doesn't teach them that.
you can't rely on your school to raise your children. You,
But I'm
you can't.
but kids from these places, they know about stuff. They know about credit. They know about stuff.
Because as Jimmy alluded to, it's about what's taught in the home.
And that's
Not-
it.
not
You can live
really.
on Woolworth Road and still know your shit. You can live on
of
Wells
course,
Street and still
Exactly.
know your shit.
however, 10
Like, it doesn't matter about your area.
However, 9 out of 10 of those kids in Chelsea would know about that.
Is that an actual fact? Is that an actual stat?
But in Peckham, maybe two out
But
of 10
that's
would-
allegedly. That's
But
allegedly.
it sounds more.
But if you think about it,
more
right, and I'll look it up and
Yeah.
we'll talk about it in
Yeah.
next show. Look at stats of bankruptcy in people that come from affluent areas. People who are affluent still go broke. So they don't have the financial understanding or the financial astuteness to be able to manage that.
But
So
they
that's probably
they
worse
climb
than not
up
having
the
money at
ladder
all.
quicker than us from ends.
Us who?
Yeah.
That's my question. Us who?
Us who?
That's what I'm saying. Who's us?
Because where we come from, we're in a
Black,
privileged environment. We
poor.
have the infrastructure to be who we want to be. We have free schooling.
I
We
don't
have free
think so,
medical care.
Because I would go personal and use myself as an example, but I don't feel like doing that because you can't really. Because yes, I am where I am right now and I'm doing okay, but my upbringing played a big impact in slowing me down.
All right, I'll talk about myself. My credit's shit.
Damn.
I'll say it straight. No, my
Damn.
credit's terrible.
Fucking hell,
I'm not
man.
gonna lie, but that's because of all the choices I made when I was younger.
Exactly.
Right. So now the reason why my credit's shit is because there was no financial literacy in my house. There wasn't.
or your
There was
street.
libraries in my area.
Okay.
There was multiple. There was internet cafe that had loads of how-tos in terms of avoiding CCJs and all these other stuff. But
Yeah, but
I didn't know about that shit.
Exactly. So those wouldn't have been a part of your options unless one of your friends had spoken to you about it, or you had. We all know home's the first school. We all know that.
Exactly.
Your parents or whoever your guardians are when you're young, they're your first teachers. We know that as fact, right? So I agree with you when you're saying it comes from the home. What does your actions, your mannerisms, you understand the credit, these kind of things come from the home.
What if you
And
don't have a
also,
home?
Savali, I agree with you.
What if you grew up
Hang on a
without a
second,
home?
hang on a second,
Then
mate.
how does that work?
Hang on a second. I agree with you as well when you're saying that it's down to your friends. It's gonna be one or the other.
Yeah, but
saying.
what if you never had a home? I never had that. So what happens to people like me?
But
And
you would
But
have
now
something
you're-
that was called
Could only be
a dwelling or whatever.
but a lot of people on these streets don't have that.
But then understand you have learned what it is you don't want and don't need. So then you seek the knowledge and the opportunity to do the opposite. Don't make an excuse for it because
Not
I
really.
didn't
just
have
feel
it.
like
Okay,
I
cool,
just feel like
make it.
It's easy to say no, but I think it's harder than that. I think
No,
it's really hard. It's harder.
it's about
than you think.
mentality. If you've
Yeah,
grown
but-
up in an environment that makes you uncomfortable, that makes you be financially illiterate, that makes you emotionally unaware or emotionally unstable, you know every single thing that makes you feel like you are not valued or not worthy or you're not going to have the opportunity to grow. Put yourself in a position to grow
And how
because
do
you
you
have
do
the
that?
infrastructure
Which is what
to
I'm
do
doing
that.
How
with
do
my
you-
shit credit right
how
now.
do you
I'm
do
trying-
that?
Damn,
I'm
clear
fixing all
score,
that right
clear
now.
Then
score.
how long did it take you to do that?
When I realized that mortgage is just not gonna run.
Yeah.
When it comes to having
But how
this
long?
credit.
How long?
So
Jimmy's 21 now, so he realised at
There's
15
no way.
that his credit
17
was...
You're
years old,
21, I'm
17 years of
14,
age,
15.
and I'm fixing my credit now.
But-
But no, I've had poor credit because I've known more about how to avoid bailiffs as opposed to
Wow.
how to get good credit cards. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's been in my household. That's what I've known.
Okay.
So because of that, no one's been able to teach me all these things. So I've had to learn it
Learn
over
by
time.
myself, yeah.
And I don't think it's because of the area. I just think it's just internal. It's just inside the
Like,
home.
I think the two
Exactly.
are inseparable.
So you
I think
stopped
the two are
making
inseparable
excuses.
personally.
If I go back in time, I would say my school played a big part. Where I was from played a big part. My race played a big part. Just a lot played a big part. So I think it's not fair to just man. I definitely think where you're from plays a big part.
Sav, but at
Like-
what point do you take responsibility for breaking the cycle? At what point do you say, okay, cool, I don't want my kids to feel how I feel. I don't want my kids to
like,
experience what I experience.
In my mid-20s, now that's when I'm like, okay, actually, wait, this, I need to fix this. I need to do this. I need to... Now, but being 16, 17 in uni, whatever, I didn't know about all these things.
But there's different support systems in place now to when we were 16
but at the
and
same,
17.
but I feel like a lot. I don't know, man. A lot of people make the same mistake. Like I've got friends who literally done the exact same things that I did from the same place. And most time, everyone from where I'm from do the exact same thing. So clearly, there's something wrong with where I'm from.
Do you
It's
think from
decision making.
because of the people, or do you think it's the area?
Everything.
But it's the people that you know. What about the people that you don't know?
No, I'm just saying. Because there could be people that are like in the school, for example.
Yeah.
But
They're not from you're not from
they're not from
exactly
the
the same
area.
area.
Do you see what I mean?
I don't know, man. But
No, it's all excuses, I think. You have everything you need. Like, especially in this generation, there is a lot of frontline care and staff who go through trauma-informed practice training, which allows them to deal with children and young people who've gone through negative experiences in life. So rather than judging them on behaviours, they're thinking about how they can help them and help them reframe and redevelop the relationships they have with themselves and the people around them. So that there isn't an excuse now to continue and perpetuate the cycle of behaviours that they've
but
come
then
through.
if you talk about crime as well in this topic, how do you help that? Some kids are just sick.
Yeah, but look,
Sick from-
this is
Yeah.
something that if I think it's
Sorry,
unfair.
You come with a lot of excuses, by the way.
Well, me.
Yeah, I'm hearing
I'm
that.
trying to
A
like.
lot of excuses from you.
I'm
Nah,
hearing that.
but
I'm not saying
You're getting a lot of what if situations and this and that.
no ownership in any
Yeah.
no, but sometimes you can't just own it. Like
You have to.
You
It's
have
your
to.
life.
Like, I've
It's
owned
your
my shit
life.
credit. You have to own what it is. If you fucked up, you got to own it. You got to take accountability. You got to know how to move forward.
Exactly.
If you're just going to say,
Okay.
yeah, but my areas maybe.
And-
fuck
Okay,
that,
fine.
that's
Do
Okay,
you
fine.
remember
fine.
the
Okay.
conversation we
Wait,
had
wait,
about
hold
black
on, hold on.
people
So,
being lazy?
do
You
you
were
want
the
to-
one that
no,
was championing that. That's
I
a
get
lazy
that.
mentality. So own it.
I get that. However, okay, so you want to talk about ownership. So imagine a kid, let's say me, for example,
Yeah.
and this is going to be about me. You get kicked out of your yard when you were 15.
Yeah.
I've been there, so we're on the same path. Not the same
Yeah, yeah.
age, but it's happened. So go on.
there's no legal battles kicked in, different things kicked in. There's no money. You probably had to apply for a loan and do. Took you a while to build yourself back away. Your credit is so bad you can't even, and that stops you now from getting a car, from getting so many things. Who do you blame
You have to look.
Why
at
did you get kicked out?
for
Damn.
something that I couldn't control? For the mistakes my actual parents made in life. So how do I blame myself? I just had to survive. So whose fault is that?
Okay, so
It's not about
okay,
fault.
hang on, hang on.
How?
One minute, hang on.
Who do I blame for that?
Hang on. So, okay, so Valley. So look, how long ago was that?
This was years ago. Now, obviously, my point is that now everything's calm. But however, at that point, it was really hard, and I could have gone so many ways. I could have gone into to.
You could have made wrong decisions.
Of course, but
the first thing you look to do was who do I blame? It's not about who do I blame. It's about what do I learn from this so this situation doesn't happen again.
Bro, listen, I'm here right now, patterning shit. So
Good.
I haven't blamed anybody. But my point is that there are thousands of kids like myself
In the same situation.
I'm
who's
aware.
done fuckery, and who do they blame? Because I was taken over from a different country, adopted and brought over here, then kicked out by the exact same people
Who brought
You brought you
over?
over.
for
And
no
then it's-
actual reason,
Yeah.
and I had to survive. So who do you blame for that?
That's
It's a
So
system.
talk
Is it-
about
you know
taking
it's-
ownership, bro. I can take every ownership you want me to take.
you can and
So
you should. But
and I have. But however, you can't say, oh yeah, because I could. There's a lot. I wasn't entitled to benefits or anything because of my legal status. So who do you blame for it?
Again, it's
That's
not about
so
blame.
so,
though.
so when you lot talk, you don't know the actual stuff. So you're talking from a very outside perspective.
That's right.
I've seen shit. I've got friends who've gone through the exact same things, doing dirt. So you can't. So I'm talking from pure pain. You can't tell me about
understand that.
nothing.
I understand that.
But there's people.
So
that's your
there's people-
situation.
So Valley, what I'm
No,
saying is, yes.
no. So I've been quite no. It just no.
Okay, but there's people. All right, go on.
So Valley, yeah.
How do you explain that?
That's your situation, and it's an
Hold on.
But I've
unfortunate
got friends.
situation.
I've got friends in jail right now because that's the only way they can be in this country.
So Valley, listen for a moment. Yeah, what's happened in your past, as well as what's happened to hundreds of other children, possibly they're in the same situation. They've been through the same kind of thing. To be honest with you, bruv, people like me, I can't give an opinion on that because I haven't lived it exactly the same. The only part of your journey that I could share is that at one point I was kicked out. Whose fault was it? Doesn't matter. To be honest, now doesn't matter. Then it would have, but now,
Of course, now it doesn't. Now it doesn't.
And I have to take from that and what's made me stronger because of that.
The lesson, yeah, of
circumstance.
course.
Yeah. So
But
bringing
then
that, bringing, keeping hold of that experience, owning it, and now if anyone else that's younger than me or older than me goes in a situation where they're homeless, if I sit down and talk to that
of course.
person and they're saying to me, well, I'm out on the roads, and I've heard this from people that are living well, I've got to survive. That line for me, or I've got to make ends meet, I've got kids to feed, that line for me doesn't justify
doing
every kind of
everything.
fuckery
Yeah.
Of
that is
course.
people are deciding to get up to.
At that point, if I go into, because I go into a lot of messed up shit at that point in my life. If I go into a mad gang, I can't blame myself. I don't know better. Literally, I was out in the cold with nothing, with no jacket. Man, it was snowing. Where do I go from there?
Yeah.
So if my man walks up to me and says, "Yo, listen, I've got food. Move it for me. I'll give you a yard." I'm taking that straight.
Yeah.
So who do? Like, that's my point. Who do you blame? Because
For your
Yeah, but hang on,
situation-
sorry to cut you out, Jim. What? Yeah, but Savali, why do you keep saying blame? Why do you have to blame
I'm not
somebody?
blame.
I'm not
'Cause
saying
hang on a minute,
no.
No, but
the
you
whole
are saying
point is
that,
that
mate.
who what excuse is it? I mean, who do we blame, right?
No.
Or is
Yeah,
there
but
an
there is
excuse
no
for it?
blame.
Yeah, but
As
yeah,
Clint
my-
said, it's
I'm
not
saying,
about
do you know what?
blame.
My
So
point is
Valley,
that-
easy.
my
Valley,
point is
hang on,
that
sorry,
on my own thing,
Yeah.
I've got an excuse. And
So Valley,
no. On my
whoever
own
it
issue,
is.
on my own issue, I've got an
Can we
excuse.
depersonalize
A lot
it?
of man that I know have an excuse.
Can we
You lot can't
depersonalize
sit
it?
But
there
I
with
think
your
personally
golden
that's the
fucking
problem.
experience.
I
You've got
think
to
that's
let
a
it
problem.
and say, oh, no, because you
I
lot,
think no, but you
what
know,
have
I
you
think
done?
that's a problem.
What have
No,
you gone
but
through?
listen,
What
but
have you
listen.
gone through? What have you gone through?
But this is-
Nothing.
but this is what
Nothing
I'm saying.
enough to ever.
Allegedly.
Bruv,
You don't know my
nothing.
story. You don't know my
What
story.
story, bruv?
You
Okay.
don't
What
know
have
my
you had to
story.
say?
I don't make an
So
excuse
Valley,
for it.
What excuses? You
I
don't
don't
know.
make
What
excuses
Savali,
for
you
it.
can't
There's no
say that,
blame.
mate.
What
Savali,
excuses?
But this is the thing.
Savali, listen. whatever you've been through, it's obviously your experience, bruv. Like, we can see that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And no one's ever going to tell you how it is because you've lived it, right? That's what it is. And no one's ever going to be able to relate or live it the way you've lived it because you've lived it your way. That's what's happening. You make decisions. That's it. It's done. You can't keep on. It just feels like you keep on saying who's to blame, whose fault is it. It's like you're looking outside for answers that you're gonna find within yourself, bruv. And hang on a minute, Savali. Hang on a minute, mate. You've had the mic for long enough.
That's why
bruv.
man's here.
Hang on a minute.
So you can't.
Hang on a minute, Savali. Yeah,
No, I'm
yeah.
talking because he's talking.
I just hear him.
Go on.
hearing back. No one's attacking you. What you understand is
That's the
no
thing.
one-
It's a conversation,
no one's-
and it's a very good conversation at that.
Obviously,
Yeah.
obviously you feel the type of way. We've seen it. He's got a reaction out of you.
Yeah.
But no one here is against you attacking you.
Exactly.
No one's trying to say what you've gone through is a joke thing. Nobody says.
Exactly.
Another thing is what you don't know what everyone else is different.
Exactly.
Kind of you can't listen. What I'm saying. It's wrong to turn around and say what have other people gone through.
But-
Everyone's
but
gone through. Wait. Listen, bro. Let me.
I
speak.
get that. You're going on.
Let me speak. Everyone's gone through their kind of different pain.
Exactly.
You also, same way, you want everyone else to acknowledge your pain and feel your pain. Be mindful of other people's pain.
I get that.
Exactly.
Don't just
I
discredit
get
everyone
that.
at
But
the
I
table.
feel like if they've gone through that type of stress, not just me,
No,
from
man, what
a
I'm
lot
saying-
of man, they would speak differently.
No,
And
listen,
yeah,
No.
this is why
No,
this is
look.
wrong.
It's
I know
ownership.
because we've been through everyone. There's people here that's been.
I
through
know
this.
that, I know that.
Wait, listen. And we're speaking different, so this is why we had a table to discuss.
Exactly.
That's it.
To look at things from
That's
different
it.
views. You can't now feel people are attacking you. No one's attacking you, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
own your shit and you move
We're just
through
trying
it.
to show you to see it from
Another
you
person's
ask us to
angle.
See things on your angle. Now let other people show.
Because you know what the worst
Yeah,
thing is? There's
yeah.
so much. Sorry, Clint. I'll do one.
Yeah. I'll come back afterwards. Go on.
Because the thing is, with you, your shit is hard. It's 100%. What you've gone through is hard. But there's guaranteed there's someone out there that's so fucking what?
of course,
Exactly.
And that's the worst part. Of
course,
so the
I
fact,
get that.
The thing is that although that's the thing, you with what
Yeah.
you've gone through. Sorry, bro. Just give me 1 minute, please. With what you've gone through, for me, looking at you as a black man, looking at you as someone from London, looking at you as someone who's around my age group, I can still say, fucking hell, bro. You've had it hard. But we need to say, who do I blame?
No.
Fuck all that. We need to say, you know what? How the fuck do I move forward?
Yeah, but that's
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
My point is that mentality of fuck all that is what I had and what
Yeah.
got me out of whatever I got into. But my point here is you can't expect these kids not to say, yo, like, it's not me, you know. Like I wanted better, but I
Yeah,
could.
yeah.
Do you get it? So if a kid, imagine a kid called Bob that went through exactly what I went through, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then he went into crime. You can't say, oh, nah, he should have known better. No, because
But there are
he didn't
different
have a
support
choice.
systems in place now
Like,
than when
brother,
you were
brother,
that age.
hang on. You always
Yeah.
have a choice.
Exactly.
Always. Yeah.
Always.
However,
doesn't-
hang
you
on,
don't,
hang
you
on,
don't.
hang on a second.
Don't.
Hang on a
You
second.
do.
Hang
Don't.
on. But because of your circumstances or your mindset at the time, you choose to do that, brother. That's what it is.
You don't.
Yeah. Okay. So hang on a minute. Okay. Is there anyone
Yeah.
that's committing a murder for the right reasons?
Yeah.
Touche.
Depends what you would class right and wrong.
Exactly. So why
There
can't
we
you
go.
apply that same mindset to decision making?
Okay, so think about it. If you're, I've seen I've seen an older walk up to a young guy and say, listen, I want you to move this, or this man's gonna slap you up, or do.
Yeah.
What does that kid do?
You have options
Options to do what?
to either not do it or
Right.
do it.
You get slapped. Or
One
hurt.
sec. How
what-
did that guy get himself in a situation with someone older than
Touche.
him that thinks he has a
Okay,
right to be
okay.
able to tell him that anyway?
Okay, so
bruv?
last week I was walking through my town,
Mm.
Luton. I walking through. My little cousin called me and he said, "Yo, listen, one older that you know just literally said what I said. Yo,
Yeah,
I need
yeah.
this much from you every week,
Blah, blah,
or man's
blah.
gonna hurt you."
Yeah.
Good kid doesn't know better.
so
Luckily, I knew
what?
my man personally, so I
How-
spoke to him. He's done nothing. That's what it takes.
Savali.
You lot from a different. I don't know where you lot live. that you don't know
Savali.
things happen on
Savali.
roads.
Big man.
No,
Savali,
listen.
please.
because you're saying how would you get yourself?
I'm
in that
hearing
place?
mad
This
excuses.
kid's
Savali,
walking
listen.
Mad
through.
excuses.
He's walking
Savali.
through. Man's getting home. Someone that's bigger and badder says, "Listen, I want fibers from you every week, or else man's gonna hurt you."
Okay, hang on a minute. Hang on.
What does he do?
Hang on,
He hasn't got a choice. He has to make that
No stress.
Yeah?
They're the one come say it to you now.
Huh?
Could I say that to you?
and live where.
No, could I say
Man
that
said
to
I
you?
live where?
But that's
Nobody
the
can
point.
say that to me.
But you're saying
Hang on a
that
minute,
right
hang on a
now.
minute,
Who are
hang on a
you?
second. Okay,
Even
hang
God
on.
can't say that to me.
Yeah. Why?
Because I'm me. I'm Savali.
Okay. So I can't do that to you.
And live where? Where do you think you're gonna live after that?
Okay, cool. So why can someone else say it to your cousin? Why doesn't your cousin have that mindset?
Because
You
I
tell
am
me that.
me. I am me for a reason.
Yeah, but why doesn't he have your
Because
mindset?
I am
Exactly.
me.
I'm
A
asking
lot
you.
of people don't have the same
Depersonalise it,
mindset.
but
That's my point.
depersonalise it,
Right,
Savali. Depersonalise it.
yes. Okay.
So that's my point, is that you can't expect everyone to easy. No, because I've had to get to this mindset because I've been through pain. I've had to do things that's made me so strong that, listen, you can't shake me. Impossible. See how I speak, yeah? That comes from a place.
Okay.
I speak been through that I can't be moved.
Okay,
Like
so
mentally,
look,
you can't
so look,
shake
so
me.
look.
So, but this kid that is a good kid, you walk up to my man. What does he do?
I heard you. Look,
What choice does he have? Tell me, what choice does he have?
That's not a question I can answer, but what I can say.
okay,
hang
but
on,
everyone
yeah,
has a
hang on a minute,
choice.
hang on a minute,
Everyone has a
Let me
choice.
stop.
What
Let me
choice does he
stop
have?
you.
I'm going to close.
Because no
yeah?
one's talking now. What choice does that kid
Hang on
have?
a second, yeah.
Police.
Yeah.
Is that the choice he has?
Look, Savali, what with problems, yeah?
Yeah.
You need to find solutions.
Help him out. I actually want you to talk to my little brother right now and help him out.
Yeah. So look,
My man said Ayana saved my
First-
life, you know.
first and foremost, yeah, this was my cousin or my
Yeah,
brother
Yeah.
or my nephew,
Yeah.
because they're all younger than me.
Yeah.
The majority of them are, yeah. So if any one of them comes to me and says that,
Yeah.
for me, the situation's going to go like this. How do you know that guy? And if he says anything along the lines of, well, one day I wanted to make money and he was there, anything where he's involved himself with that person, hang on a second, yeah? Then I'm going to tell him, well, you need to get yourself away from that person. Let's work on it. You want to come live in London, if you've got to come and do this, if you want to come and do that. If I can do that, that's what's going to happen. He needs to isolate himself from that individual.
Yeah.
If my cousin's just an innocent guy,
Yeah.
he genuinely is just an innocent person that goes to work
And he is, yeah.
and goes home,
Yeah.
and a random dude's come over to him and goes, I want blah blah blah
Because
money out of
he's
you.
moist. He's actually
Hang on,
a
hang on,
moist
hang on.
kid.
Yeah,
Yeah. Easy target.
So they
Fresh
go into
meat.
the police
Yeah.
shouldn't be a problem because he doesn't adhere by street rules, right?
You know, because then he could end up getting himself into big trouble.
Exactly.
But the
I'm
mentality
asking you,
of
what
it though,
choice
the
does he
mentality
have?
of
No
it,
one's
because he's turned around and said that he's
Jimmy,
not a
you're
street
quiet.
kid.
What choice does he
Yeah.
have? What can he do? Help
But
him
you've
out.
turned around and said that he's not a street kid.
Help
Yeah.
him. No, help
Yeah.
him out.
So
I
if you're
want
not a
you to
street
help him
kid,
out.
you're
yeah,
He's
so-
on
lost. He's
different
watching.
rules.
He's lost. Help him out.
How, for me,
He's watching. Help him.
how could a guy that is on the road
Yeah.
demand something
Okay.
from a guy that he knows is
Okay,
on the road?
in school, for example, I'm sure a lot of men in this room did exactly that. In school, where you would walk up to a kid and tax man, I want a pound from you every day. I don't care how you get. I've told man, get me Chinese.
He's a bully. He's a bully,
with no
yeah.
money.
Did I say
bully.
Get me Chinese. You're bringing that Chinese back. I don't care how you do it, but you're bringing it back.
Yeah.
I'll give man a pound and he's bringing me £6 Chinese.
Yeah.
How is he doing that? Because he's shook and he's a good kid.
But you just said, all right, let's go back to you, yeah?
What choice does that kid have? He
Let's-
has to
let's-
get.
let's
Man,
bring it
man's
back
going
to
to
you.
order Chinese and take it and run
cool.
and brings
Nah,
it.
alright, cool.
Nah.
That's
So
my
what we're
point.
doing, so
Solution
And it
is-
happens all
yeah.
the time.
Alright.
That happens all the time.
Do you know what? All right, we got to revisit this because I feel
Yeah.
like personally,
Because you,
it's
you
got- it's
fam,
got-
now you're
alright, do you
talking.
know
It was
what?
quite
No,
bare,
wait,
but
no,
you
I'll
want
tell
to
you
talk
why.
now.
The reason why why I'm quiet because you're still talking.
No, bro.
Yeah.
You
I'm
had,
gonna give you- I'm
you
letting
had
you talk.
nothing to say.
No, wait,
No,
I'm gonna
Sav,
let
you
talk,
took it a
but
bit
at the same
personal
time, You're
still.
taking it so personal.
Yeah, it's
that's
a
now
bit mad.
become
Because-
about you as opposed to as us.
No, because
you see
you
what I'm
lot-
saying.
you-
It's
like
what
like
you've gone
Kanye
through-
said,
what
you
you've gone
three
through.
haven't got the answers.
What?
Neither have you, clearly.
Exactly. You haven't got the answers either, bro.
No,
And that's the
you
simple
don't
thing.
have the answers.
All right, Savali, hang on. We'll take the mic. What's the answer?
Bang.
I don't have the answer.
Well, said,
Well,
so
then how
include
can you
yourself then.
exactly?
Well,
Of course
yourself
I've got the
then.
answers.
You
Come
you
on,
just
bruv.
came with bare strength.
Come
We
on,
don't have
bruv.
the answers.
No,
but
bro.
Make
you
yourself
don't
like
say
a
so.
right donut, bro.
Exactly.
Hear me out. Hear me
Come
out.
on, bro.
I never claimed to
But
have
when
the
we're
answers.
talking, you're
And
doing
yet
all of
you
this.
give
Yeah,
me
but what about this?
You
What
lot-
about that?
You lot said, "Oh no, you
And then
can't
when
have
you're
a
talking
choice."
over everyone, then you're
lot
saying,
can't
why
have a
you
choice.
quiet?
All I said is no. What
You
you're saying
can't
is
talk over
wrong.
someone and say, why you
Bro,
quiet?
now you're talking crud.
No, but this
I'm
was
not
you.
talking
This
crud.
was
Now
you
you're,
5
now
minutes
you're
ago,
talking
Savali.
crud. You wasn't saying much 2 seconds ago.
man, this
but
was
now
my
cameras,
story.
man's doing. Bro,
I'm telling you, I wasn't talking because I was letting you talk.
I think we've got to wrap it up now.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Can we wrap it up there? We'll
We can-
revisit
we
this.
can-
We'll revisit
yeah.
this. Yeah.
I'll
Done it.
100%
I've got
want to revisit it.
smoke.
I 100% want to revisit it.